are here with the President of the Universe.
Thank you. It's an honor to finally be recognized.
And we are here today. My name is Sarah, and Will is entering the room, and we have some questions for you.
Good. I don't have any answers, but I'm happy to, because there's the two of you, one of you can ask and one of you can answer.
Okay.
And I can just preside, knowing nothing.
Okay, my question is ultimately about peace.
Yes.
Peace out there in the universe. Where is the most peaceful place to live right now, out of all the planets?
New Zealand.
Oh, okay. As a country.
Yes.
Okay, so here on Earth, New Zealand is the most
Yes,
peaceful
because
place.
it's far away from everything else. It helps.
I will have to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you.
You'll do a report back to us.
Okay, my question is, where did you find a toilet small enough that this plunger would be applicable? Or is this not for toilets?
My loyal subject, may I? This is for sinks.
Oh, for sinks, I gotcha.
Now you need, my son, to be able to flexibly change your perspective. When you think this is too small for a toilet, you have to say, maybe I can look at it in a different way. Would you take a look at this, please?
Oh, so it's not that that's too small, it's just the toilet is too big.
Yes, and
Yes.
and so you can solve all of your problems for the rest of your life by remembering this. Oh, it doesn't make sense from this perspective. Maybe I can look at it another way. So I'm glad to have helped you with your life, my son.
Thank you.
Let's see. This is what is another question here? I guess someone out there in the world was asking a sports question.
Oh, yes.
And the future of the Patriots.
Yes.
The backup quarterback.
Yes.
Kaepernick, is he going to very shortly be a star quarterback for the Patriots?
A backup quarterback, yes.
Backup.
It would be one of the most beautiful things that have happened to the Patriots since they got Belichick and Brady. It would really it would make our team stand for, or kneel for, yes, for justice, for making a more peaceful world. How could we not root for the Patriots? Everyone should root for them, yes?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, only people who would like to root for them should root for them, right? We shouldn't, there shouldn't be state
Shouldn't
sanctioned
be a
news
should,
or something.
right, I should, but it might be a great financial move.
Yeah, oh yes, now, the Patriots, speaking of the Patriots, is it correct? No, is it correct? Is it wise? Is it wise?
Wow, that's a great question, my son.
Is
Just
it-
the word, is it wise itself is a wise question. You don't often hear that nowadays.
Is it wise to consider the personalities and personal politics of members of a sports team in your calculation as to how you do or you do not support them winning games?
Oh, what a great question. You understand? I had trouble rooting for this beautiful team because their owner and their star quarterback, beautiful people
And
as
their
they are,
coach, sure, yeah.
and their coach, all were supporting the President of the United States, and I have an ambiguous relationship with the President of the United States.
Oh, you do?
Yes. I mean, I like my name. My name is Agent Orange in honor of his hair.
I see.
But we have a troubling relationship. That if he could get behind Copernic, that would help me love him even more, our president.
Mm.
And to answer your question, it would be nice to just keep politics, when we discuss politics and sports, separate.
Oh, wow.
Separate.
May I differ? May I?
Sure.
I think they've always been together,
Mm.
but we're now recognizing it. I mean, the football players are suffering from concussions, and that's maybe sports. And if they play the national anthem before, well, I'm not sure I'm answering the question right, but shouldn't we honor the people like LeBron James, who built a school for poor people in this Cleveland neighborhood? I think it's called the I Promise School or something like that.
Mhm.
Wouldn't that make us love players like that even more when they use their name and their fortune to make a better world? Wouldn't we like that? So if for example, if people don't get involved in politics, they're really supporting the status quo. And many of these athletes in all sports come from poor families. And I'd love it if more and more started standing up for, more justice for poor people. Better wages, better homes, better schools. Like LeBron James is building a great school for poor people in Cleveland.
Well, and every answer just brings up a million new questions, and I think you know that already. But
No, I know very little actually. I'm making it up as I go along.
I
Unlike
see.
you who make it up as you go along too. All of us maybe, yes.
well, is it not true then that truth is subjective, thus knowledge is transient, and the only true facts come from within?
Wow, deep. I'd love to hear what my queen, Sarah, says.
We are all raised with different truths, depending on the environment, our parents, what was accepted, what wasn't accepted. And that really is the truths that we carry around. And whether you're a sports player, a musician, an actor, anyone out there, it is great to have a voice and to share your voice. I completely agree.
We should share, so we have different truths. I have a story for you. It's a baseball story, so it's appropriate, about truth.
Okay.
It'll take about 2 minutes, may I?
Yes, of course.
Oh, because the king always needs as much guidance as he can get. So they're having there's a baseball convention of umpires discussing the true meaning of baseball. And the three of us are we have been working as umpires, but we know enough to say nothing. And all the other umpires finally say, we don't know what the true meaning of baseball is. So, the third from the youngest, I think it's you. How old are you, my son?
I'm 36 years
Yes.
of age.
The youngest of us three who haven't said anything, Will, gets up and bravely says, baseball, balls and strikes, I calls them as I sees them. You're that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
What you were just saying. What I see, I say. You're honest in that sense. And that in philosophy, that's known as relativism.
Yes.
What Sarah was saying, that's relative to your perspective. They wondered what the second from the oldest umpire would say.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah slowly gets up and she says, baseball, balls and strikes. I calls them as they are. After you've taken a trip to New Zealand, you begin to get new perspectives and you finally think it's not just relative anymore. Some things you can get in touch with. You know love when you see it. You know an honest man when you see it. So it's not just relative anymore. I calls them as they are. In philosophy, this is known as essentialism. You get in touch with the essence. And they wondered what the oldest umpire could say. Forgive me for taking this role.
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to be the oldest here. And everyone else is wondering, what can he say? And he gets up and he says, baseball, balls and strikes. They ain't nothing till I calls them. This is existentialism. And you both were saying something like this. We help co-create our reality. After we go through all these good stages, calls them as I see them. Not too many people are as honest as you.
Mm-hmm.
In the second stage, I can finally see some things that are really true for me and out there too. I can know a good man. I can know a good friend. Not just from my own perspective, but this man is a good friend. I calls them as they are. And the final perspective is we co-create our reality. They ain't nothing till I calls them. We're slowly becoming friends.
Is that not solipsism though?
No, we're doing it together.
No, I don't know. I don't think that last umpire was.
Although ain't nothing till I calls them.
Yes,
Well, yes, but if we both say that, and if we all say they ain't nothing till we calls them, we realize, just like you and I are co-creating a loving friendship, and you and I are beginning to become friends, I hope. Feels that way. That could be how I'm calling them, but it feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, I love your question, my son, but the answer is if we all are existentialists in that way, we all know we're co-creating reality. Even I, King of the universe, know that the universe is co-created by all of us. This studio we're in, with you here recording us and you here putting us on YouTube, we're co-creating this for the world.
As co-creators.
Wow, what a quick learner. Wow.
That is, when or how many years down the road can you see world peace?
Well,
A peaceful world.
oh, maybe we should get Will so good at this.
Well, I would just have a comment that world peace would actually be terrible.
Terrible because? You always count on a unique perspective.
Well, the way I see it, world peace would be an end to conflict.
It could be an end to certain conflict, but how about dramatic conflict, like us disagreeing and having fun?
But I think that conflict, the existence of conflict is an absolute, in that you can maybe cut down on the types of extreme conflict and violence and war and so forth, but they are an extension of the core concept of conflict. So if you were truly make world peace,
Yes.
it would mean, it would just completely eradicate, we can't understand, without conflict there's no such thing as humor, without conflict there's no such thing as playing a game of chess with a friend. So when you say you want world peace, it would actually be something, I think, more akin to, if not hell, some sort of just inhuman limbo state, and it would change who we are, and really it would wipeout because without conflict, there's no, without conflict between the lion and the gazelle, there's no nature. So really, we're talking about the end of the world. The only way to truly have world peace would be to eradicate all life.
Well, the seeds of what you're saying, my son, when you mentioned chess, for example,
Yes.
and you of course know chess is a war game.
Yes, but all games, right? All
Yeah.
games are conflict.
Yes, but the difference is, and you have really given us the difference, when you can move from actual war to games, like baseball, football, the things we're talking about, then you've made an evolutionary leap forward. You've still kept conflict, but you've made conflict fun.
Yes.
So that's what that's what my dear beloved Sarah is saying. That we can create a world where conflict is fun.
I would identify that, or I would define that as a peaceful world, but I wouldn't define that as world peace. Maybe I'm being
Okay, so I don't care.
Peaceful
maybe
world
I'm being
then.
pedantic.
We'll
That
we'll
is my
take it.
question,
We'll take it.
peaceful world.
Yeah, we'll
Where
take.
you have
Yeah,
sports teams,
yeah.
you have rivals, you have differences of opinion, you have a lot of
Yes.
comedy, humor,
Yes.
but you don't have the extreme.
Which is what we're doing now. Even though we're disagreeing, we are not, hitting each over the head with this scepter of mine. So this is we are now in the studio, and you, my beloved viewers, are helping create a peaceful world that includes real fierce games,
No.
real fierce discussions like this one.
Now, was not, however, though, the original use for a scepter like you have here to bonk people on the head, that the king would keep his subjects in line?
I never knew that, but
I just assumed that. What else is a scepter for?
maybe just to, like a victory, like in the Olympic Games. But even so, now we can do that for fun. So, but I'm glad. Thank you for inspiring these. The conflict between us has helped begin to get this
Increasing
answer.
perspective.
Yeah. Martin Luther King said that he wouldn't lie to us because he was killed for what he believed. Said the the moral arc of history is long, something like that, but eventually it bends toward justice.
Yes.
So I think that's happening in our life. Even when you young people were born, when you were born, like you can have a much better job than your mother has. What did your father do?
He still is an astronomer.
Oh, so he has a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, and you were following in his footsteps?
No.
No,
By no means.
no means I take back that. But there's lots of progress. And your mother?
My mother was a teacher for a number of years
I
worked as a computer programmer.
So no wonder you're such an amazing human being. You come from amazing roots.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. I'll take it.
Yes. And your parents?
My mother was a lawyer, did not like that.
Oh.
And then my father, a chemist.
And so your mother stopped working?
She just didn't. She told us she'd kill us if we went to law school. Yeah.
It's a sweet mother.
But it's a good. You do get a good education for those people, and some people are very happy when they find their niche.
Yes.
So.
And you're looking, yes? You're niche looking?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So, do you have any advice for someone who's niche looking?
In what context?
Just in life.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Just niche looking for happiness.
And really, she has nothing to hold her back. She's going to New Zealand for
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. How many?
No, a couple months.
Oh, I'll miss you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's grown. It was first 2 or 3 weeks, and now it's a couple of months. Life is challenging. These are, but they're not war.
But you've had some experiences like that.
No, but I was asking him
Yes.
first. She's looking for her. She's brave. She's leaving her job really. Going to a place she's never been, knowing no one, looking for a new life entirely. maybe new love, new work, new place. Who knows if you'll be back here? Wow. So that is very brave. I'm very touched by that. Do you, because you've come from such good stock, do you have any advice for her or suggestions?
I don't know if I have advice or suggestions. I mean, I haven't been to New Zealand, so I can't speak to it. Although, from what I understand of it, it's a very beautiful place.
But what about just the bravery, like a wanderer?
Yes,
Of
absolutely.
leaving everything and saying, do you believe in a guiding spirit?
I do.
Oh, you do? You want to tell us a
Right,
little more?
I just believe you have to follow your heart.
Oh, there's some, and so your
And
heart
when
is,
your heart is restless, it's not gonna go away.
oh, so you're
You can't talk your heart out of
Oh,
it.
see, wow, sounds like a very brave journey, I think, yes.
I believe, in a sense, and this isn't my quote, but that all we ever do in this life is go from one tiny piece of holy land to another.
I love that. From you especially.
Yes, although I mean, holy land, I see that as not a
Religious word.
not
A
necessarily.
sacred space, though.
A sacred space, I would say, yeah.
And how would you define the sacred space? You've just moved to a new home with a new woman, right?
Yeah, well, we've lived together for a year now.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is still a sacred space for you, I think.
Sure.
Look how quickly he says, sure. So what advice would you give for this wandering woman to find her sacred space and her sacred partner, really? You've done that.
Well, I don't know if one sacred space and one sacred partner is everyone's calling, I don't know. I think some people, their true path is to be moving.
Oh, and just move from one sacred space to another
Sure.
and learning and growing. Right. So, how did you meet your partner? Where did you meet?
On the internet.
Wow, on a dating site?
Yeah.
Which one?
Okay, Cupid.
For a free dating site.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what was your first date? Where did you go?
We went to the place in Harvard Square that is called Grendel's Pub.
Yes, I know it well. And did you know when you met her? Oh my.
Yes.
Oh yes, Sarah was there. From your heart, you knew that.
Yes, I knew. I knew.
Look at him smiling. You can see
On
how
our first date that it was going to be something.
How did you know that?
It just just so many things just clicked immediebly.
Such as?
Just when you converse with someone, and it was like we're talking like old friends, even though we had just met. And
Wow. And she felt the same?
I hope so. She's still around. So.
Yes, but and you had no trouble with the second date?
What do you mean trouble?
I mean, you asked her and she said yes? Is that?
Yeah.
Wow. So there's an answer. What was your answer?
Oh.
He knew in his heart.
Yeah.
And this can happen at any time.
Yeah. Well,
And he helped co-create it though, as I was saying, by going on OkCupid. Had you got other dates on OkCupid before?
many.
And this was the first one that, oh look at, so we have answers here.
Yeah.
And what about we still have 3 minutes, what about your work? How did you find work because I think you just changed jobs, right?
I changed jobs about 2.5 years ago.
And you're happy with this change?
Yes. Well, it was definitely a step up in life professionally. Yeah.
So you've done this in work and in love?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, why? So we only have 2.5 minutes, maybe both of us. Do we have any, I'm so touched by you taking this journey. When I was younger than you, I left everything and went to Israel for 3 years, knowing no one, but just 3 names, $300, and it changed my life for the better. I was unhappy when I left. It was very hard living there, but I've been happy ever since I've come back. I just learned how to be a much more physical person. I worked as
last 2 years?
I taught English to Arabs and Israelis.
Wow.
So among other jobs, I played the Tower of Babel in the play, and I played Samson.
Mhm.
Who, all those things helped me become much more down to earth. So I'm touched that you're taking a similar journey.
Mhm.
And we have only, do you have any other questions about your journey? We only have 90 seconds to go.
Let's see, I don't have questions about my journey, but it's nice when you just put your intention out there, that you get results and good things come.
Oh, there's an answer. So your intention is, you can put it right out to.
But my intention is,
You can go with that.
let's see, intention is just adventure and just seeing different perspectives.
Oh, so
It's-
you're not asking for anything in particular?
But I have nothing to ask. Right?
Wow, is that open, baby? That is more beautiful than I imagined. When I left, I think I wanted to find out what Judaism was about. And that I did. And what working on a farm was about. And that I did. I once was shoveling manure into a chicken coop for 8 hours. And then afterwards a rabbi said, "How are you?" And for the first time in my life I didn't have to be witty or wise. I was a valuable human being because I was covered with manure.